Have you ever felt that everything in your life is out of place? That no matter how hard you try to move forward, doors close, and you find yourself trapped in a cycle of frustration and doubts? If this feeling sounds familiar to you, it's not a coincidence. According to Carl Jung, those moments of apparent chaos have a deeper purpose. They are the way the universe, or more specifically your unconscious, pushes you toward the path you truly need to take. We live in a world that teaches us to seek answers outside ourselves, in other people, in material things, in successes that promise to fill us with satisfaction. But what happens when none of that works? Jung invites us to look in the opposite direction, inward, where the true power of transformation lies. He believed that moments of crisis are nothing more than an opportunity to reconnect with our essence and discover what really matters. When life feels like an incomplete puzzle, we tend to look for pieces in the wrong places. We resist change, clinging to what's familiar, even when it harms us. But Jung argued that pain and confusion are signs of growth. It's as if the universe conspires to dismantle everything that doesn't resonate with your true self. What seems like a punishment is actually an invitation to look beyond the surface. Think about those times when everything seemed to fall apart. Relationships that end unexpectedly, projects that fail, or situations that didn't go as planned. It's easy to fall into despair and ask why these things happen to you. But according to Jung, each of these events is designed to show you something you need to learn. They aren't coincidences, but profound messages from your unconscious, calling you to awaken and reconnect with your purpose. One of the most striking concepts in Jung's teachings is that of the shadow, that part of you that you repress, that you hide, that you prefer to ignore because it doesn't fit the image you want to project. But the shadow doesn't disappear just because you ignore it. It manifests in your relationships, in your decisions, in your deepest frustrations. When a situation or person irritates you more than seems logical, Jung would say you're seeing a reflection of your own shadow. Accepting the shadow isn't easy, but it's essential. It's like facing a mirror that shows you not only your strengths but also your weaknesses, fears, and contradictions. But here's the secret. When you embrace your shadow, you begin to integrate all parts of yourself. And in that process, you discover a level of peace and authenticity you never thought possible. Life isn't designed to be a straight and safe path. It's full of curves, ups and downs, and moments of uncertainty. But it's precisely in those moments of uncertainty where the magic happens. When you dare to let go of control and trust that the universe has a plan for you, you start to see how the puzzle pieces fall into place in ways you could never have imagined. That resistance to change, that fear of letting go of the familiar, is one of the main reasons we feel trapped. We cling to people, jobs, routines, and beliefs that no longer resonate with who we are, simply because the void of the unknown terrifies us. But Jung teaches us that the void isn't something to fear. It's where everything begins. It's a sacred space, a blank canvas where you can redesign your life according to your true purpose. In those moments of transition, when you feel everything is lost, the universe is giving you a unique opportunity. It's as if it takes away what no longer serves you to make room for what you truly need. But this transformation doesn't happen automatically. It requires you to have the courage to look inward, face your fears, and trust the process. Think about the times a situation forced you out of your comfort zone. Maybe it was a job you left, a relationship that ended, or a decision you didn't plan to make, but in hindsight, changed your life for the better. What if you saw those moments not as failures but as necessary redirections? According to Jung, these events are manifestations of your unconscious guiding you toward the life you're meant to live. The unconscious doesn't speak in clear words. It communicates through symbols, intuitions, and emotions. That feeling of discomfort that hits you when something isn't right, that inexplicable urge toward a new direction, these are signals you shouldn't ignore. It's your inner self showing you the way, even when logic and external expectations tell you otherwise. This is where the idea of synchronicity comes in, one of Jung's most fascinating concepts. Synchronicity happens when seemingly random events align so perfectly that they can't be mere coincidences. It's as if the universe conspires in your favor, showing you that you're in the right place, doing the right thing. These experiences aren't just encouraging. They're proof that, even in the darkest moments, the universe has a plan for you, But for synchronicity to occur, you need to be open and receptive. You must trust that there's a purpose behind everything, even when you can't see it right away. It's like walking through a fog-covered path. You can't see the end, but every step brings you closer to clarity. Maybe right now you feel like you're fighting against the current, trying to hold on to something that no longer makes sense in your life. Perhaps it's a worn-out relationship, a job that doesn't fulfill you, or even a dream that no longer resonates with you. And though letting go might seem like the hardest act, it's also the most liberating. When you decide to release what doesn't serve you, you create space for the new, for what's truly aligned with your essence. Letting go doesn't mean failing. It doesn't mean giving up or stopping the fight. Letting go is an act of wisdom, a recognition that not everything is under your control and that some things simply aren't meant to stay in your life. Carl Jung believed that when you stop clinging to what no longer serves you, you send a powerful message to the universe. You're ready for something better, something that truly resonates with you. That act of letting go also involves reconciling with yourself, accepting not just your achievements, but also your mistakes, your fears, and your shadows. Often what keeps you from moving forward isn't external circumstances, but the internal battle you carry with you. That critical voice that tells you you're not enough, that you'll never make it, that reminds you of past failures. But here's the truth. That voice doesn't define who you are. It's just a part of you, a shadow that needs to be integrated. When you decide to face that shadow instead of ignoring it, something magical starts to happen. You stop blaming yourself for what didn't work out. You stop comparing yourself to others and begin to understand that every step on your path, even the hardest ones, has brought you to this moment. A moment where you have the chance to reconnect with your true self and start anew. Imagine for a moment what your life would be like if you let go of the weight of others' expectations, if you stopped trying to be who others expect you to be and started simply being you. That authenticity, according to Jung, is the core of a fulfilling life. When you stop living to please others and align with your own truth, the universe responds. Doors that once seemed closed begin to open, opportunities arise, and the right people enter your life. These questions aren't just rhetorical. They're an invitation to take action, to start living from a place of trust and authenticity. When you begin to trust in synchronicity, something inside you changes. You stop seeing life as a series of disconnected events and start recognizing that everything is interconnected, that every experience, every person, and every challenge has a purpose. Maybe right now you feel fear, fear of what you might lose, of others' judgments, or even of facing yourself. But Jung taught us that fear isn't something to avoid. It's a compass pointing you toward what really matters. Fear will always be present when you're on the edge of a big change, but it's that very fear that tells you you're on the right path. Allow yourself to reflect for a moment. What's holding you back? What part of your life no longer resonates with you? And most importantly, what could you gain if you dared to let it go? The answers to these questions might be the key to unlocking a new chapter in your life, one where you feel more connected to yourself and to the purpose the universe has for you. The process isn't easy, but you're not alone. We all face moments of doubt, uncertainty, and loss. What makes the difference is how you choose to respond to them. You can stay in the same place, resisting change, or you can take a leap of faith, trust the process, and let the universe guide you towards something better. That leap of faith isn't something to take lightly. It's a decision that requires courage and a deep act of trust in yourself and the universe. It's looking beyond fear, beyond doubts, and remembering that within you, you have everything you need to overcome any challenge. Jung believed that true growth only happens when we dare to face the unknown, when we open ourselves to the possibility of a different life, more authentic and aligned with our essence. It's important to understand that this process doesn't mean there won't be difficulties. In fact, challenges will continue, but now you'll have a new perspective to face them. Instead of seeing them as insurmountable obstacles, you'll start to recognize them as lessons, as signs that you're on the right path. Every experience, even the most painful ones, has a purpose in the grand design of your life. Think about those moments when everything seemed to be against you, but in the end, they turned out to be catalysts for something better. Maybe you lost a job that made you unhappy, and as a result, You found an opportunity that truly resonated with you. Or perhaps you ended a relationship that wasn't good for you and that opened the space for someone special to come into your life. Jung would say these aren't accidents. They're the result of a deeper process of transformation. This transformation process also involves listening to your intuition, that inner voice that, though often quiet, always knows what's best for you. The problem is that we often ignore it, drowned out by the noise of external expectations and our own insecurities. But Jung teaches us that intuition is one of the most powerful tools we have to navigate life. It's the direct connection to our unconscious, to that part of us that's always in tune with the universe. Intuition doesn't always present itself logically. It might be an inexplicable feeling, a recurring thought, or even a dream that seems to make no sense. But if you pay attention, you'll start to notice patterns, signals guiding you toward what you truly need. Trust that voice, even when it doesn't make sense right away. Often, the most important decisions in your life won't be backed by logical reasons, but by a deep sense of inner certainty. Of course, trusting your intuition doesn't mean everything will be easy. There will be moments of doubt, fear, and questioning whether you're doing the right thing. But in those moments, remember this: the path to your purpose isn't linear. It's a journey full of unexpected twists, and each one has something valuable to teach you. When you choose to follow your intuition, something wonderful begins to happen. Synchronicity, as Jung described it, is those seemingly random events that somehow fit perfectly into your life. They're those moments when things align magically, when you meet the right person at the exact moment you need them, or an opportunity appears just when you need it most. Synchronicity isn't a coincidence. It's confirmation that you're aligned with your truth. It's the universe showing you that you're on the right path, that all the inner work you're doing is bearing fruit. But to experience this magic, you need to be willing to let go of control, to trust that even when things don't make sense, everything is happening for a reason. Allow yourself to reflect once more. What would happen if you trusted that everything you're going through right now, chaotic as it may seem, is part of a bigger plan? What doors might open if you chose to listen to your intuition and follow the signs the universe is sending you? Carl Jung showed us that this perspective not only gives us hope, but also clarity and direction. This shift in perspective isn't easy. It requires time, patience, and a willingness to let go of the ego, that part of us that wants to control everything. The ego wants certainties, logical explanations, and guarantees. But the transformation process Jung describes isn't based on the ego's logic. It's rooted in the wisdom of the unconscious. It's an act of faith, not in something external, but in yourself and in the plan the universe has for you. Imagine for a moment that your life is like a river. Many times we try to swim against the current, fighting to reach something we think we need. But that constant struggle only exhausts us and pulls us away from our true purpose. Jung invites us to do something different, to stop fighting and flow with the current, trusting that the river will take us exactly where we need to be. This isn't an act of resignation, but of wisdom and alignment with our deepest truth. When you start to flow with life, you begin to notice small miracles around you. Opportunities come effortlessly, connections become more meaningful, and most importantly, you feel an inner peace you hadn't experienced before. That peace doesn't mean all your problems will disappear. It means you'll have the strength to face them from a place of authenticity and balance. One of the greatest gifts Jung left us is the understanding that we're not alone on this journey. Though each path is unique, we all share a deep connection with others and with the universe. This connection manifests in our relationships, in the people who enter our lives, and in the events that seem to align in inexplicable ways. These experiences aren't random. They're reminders that we're part of something much bigger. However, to experience this connection and this peace, we first need to learn to let go. Let go of expectations of how things should be. Let go of the past that binds us, and let go of the ideas that limit our potential. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or ignoring. It means freeing ourselves from the weight we carry to make space for the new. When you choose to let go, you realize that life has a way of rewarding your courage. The things you truly need, the people who genuinely support you, and the opportunities aligned with your purpose begin to flow toward you. It's as if the universe responds to your act of trust with gifts you never imagined. It's at this point that transformation becomes inevitable. You stop living in fear and start living in love. Love for yourself, for others, and for the process of life. This love isn't a fleeting feeling, but a powerful force that propels you forward. In the toughest moments, the message Carl Jung left us is clear. Even when everything seems lost, the universe has a plan for you. That plan won't always be obvious, and it might not unfold as you expect. But if you have the courage to trust, to let go, and to flow with life, you'll discover that every step on your path has a purpose, and that purpose is always aligned with your highest good. As you move forward in this journey of self-discovery and transformation, you realize something crucial. The most important relationship you'll ever have is with yourself. Jung made it clear in his work. You can't find peace or purpose if you don't first cultivate a deep and honest connection with yourself. And that takes work. Work to face your shadows, to listen to your intuition, and to honor your truth, even when it means making tough decisions. Many times we look to others for what we feel we lack. We hope someone else will complete us, give us answers, or validate our worth. But here's the reality. No one can do that work for you. Everything you need is already within you. The challenge is learning to trust that, to believe in yourself even when the world seems against you. That belief in yourself isn't arrogance. It's recognizing that you're a unique creation with a unique purpose. Jung said that every human being has a mission to fulfill, a role to play in the vast fabric of the universe. You might not know what your mission is yet, and that's okay. You don't need all the answers right now. What you need is to take the next step, however small, and trust that the path will reveal itself as you go. This path isn't free of challenges. There will be moments when you feel lost, when you doubt yourself and your decisions. But remember this, challenges aren't there to defeat you. They're there to teach you something. Every obstacle, every disappointment is an opportunity to grow, to strengthen yourself, and to get closer to your true purpose. This is where resilience becomes an indispensable tool. Being resilient doesn't mean ignoring the pain or pretending everything is fine. It means allowing yourself to feel, to learn from your emotions, and to keep moving forward with a wiser heart. Resilience is the ability to adapt to change, to find meaning in adversity, and to keep trusting that the universe has a plan for you, even when you can't see it clearly. Jung believed that every crisis in our lives is an invitation to change. When things fall apart, it's because something bigger and better is in the process of being built. But for that to happen, you have to be willing to let go of the old paradigm, the old beliefs, and the old patterns that no longer serve you. This isn't an easy process, but it's profoundly transformative. Change begins with small acts of courage. It might be as simple as saying no to something that doesn't resonate with you, or as significant as making a decision that alters the course of your life. What matters is that each of these acts brings you closer to your truth, to that version of yourself that isn't limited by fear or others' expectations. When you choose courage over fear, when you allow yourself to be authentic even amid uncertainty, you send a signal to the universe that you're ready to receive what you truly deserve. And in that moment, things start to change. Not immediately, but steadily and meaningfully. The puzzle pieces begin to fit together, and opportunities that once seemed out of reach become reality. When you allow yourself to let go of what doesn't serve you, trust the process, and reconnect with your essence, you start to experience life in a completely new way. Challenges no longer feel like punishments, but like opportunities to grow. Doubts and fears transform into allies that help you understand yourself better. And most importantly, you discover that within you, you've always had the tools to overcome any obstacle. Carl Jung's message is clear. Fulfillment isn't found in chasing external ideals, but in exploring the vast universe we carry within. That journey isn't linear or always easy, but it's the most meaningful one you can undertake. Every step you take toward your authenticity is a declaration of self-love, a commitment to your truth, and an act of courage that has the power to transform not only your life, but also the lives of those around you. And here's where the collective impact of this message comes into play. We live in a world that needs more people connected to their essence, more people willing to face their shadows and live from a place of authenticity. Every time you share this message, reflect on it, or apply it to your life, you're contributing to a greater change, one that can influence those around you. Now, I want to invite you to be part of this movement. If this message resonated with you, if something in these words reminded you of what really matters, I ask you not to keep it just to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs to hear these ideas, someone who might be going through a tough time and needs a new perspective. Leave your comment below. Tell me which part of this message touched your heart or what change you're willing to make in your life to align with your truth. Your words don't just inspire others, they also help this content reach more people who could benefit from it. Together, we can create a community where self-knowledge, reflection, and personal growth are the foundations for a more authentic life. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and turn on the notification bell. That way, you'll stay updated on upcoming videos designed to accompany you on this journey toward your personal transformation. Every time you take a moment to engage with this content, whether by commenting, sharing, or liking, you're helping spread this message to those who need it most. Remember, change begins with you. Every decision you make to align your life with your essence, every small act of courage to follow your intuition, and every step you take to let go of what doesn't belong to you has an impact far beyond what you can imagine. Together, we can inspire others to discover the power they hold within themselves and ultimately transform the world. Thank you for being part of this community, for listening, for reflecting, and above all, for daring to be who you truly are. Remember, the universe has a plan for you, even in the darkest moments. Trust that plan, keep moving forward, and never stop exploring the greatness you carry within. See you in the next video. I'll be waiting for you.